Yo, welcome back. Welcome back to the 4Y Fantasy Football Podcast. We're back with another exciting episode. Your co-hosts, Shed, Olu, Billy, and Matt. We're here to bring you some hot fantasy football takes. You like that one, Will?
I do not.
So Will was born in Argentina, and he just told us when his parents moved to the States that they told everyone his name was Billy when he was 3. It didn't stick, though.
Did not stick. I'm so grateful.
Oh, we're bringing it to the podcast. You made a big mistake, bro. It's Billy the Kid. So anyways, we got mixed. What's that?
I said never disclose personal information on this podcast.
No. I feel like we're preachers, man. Anything that is said, it could be said at the pulpit.
Yeah. It's fodder for everything.
Yeah, but it's great to be back yet again. Before we hit the record button, Olu said something very profound. He said the next chapter of the podcast, and it's like we went through a whole football season, and now we are in the off season, where I think many of us actually really shine. So you, the listeners, are in for a treat as we walk you through the off season. 1 minute of shine. Shed, you're up first, man.
So what's very interesting is that there was no running backs that were actually tagged. This is a bad look for the position and for really dynasty running backs in general. So what does it mean for your young and up-and-coming stars nearing the end of their rookie deals? For your Breece Halls, your Travis Etienne, your Isaiah Pacheco, it means that the odds are not in their favor, that they're going to have a big payday, very, very slim. Running backs nowadays are 5 years, and they're done. From at least from the ability to actually make money and be a high quality fantasy production. Yes, they can still contribute. They can still be productive running back by committee, but their fantasy value is going to start to decline in year 4. Running backs history that have faltered have been like your Dalvin Cook after a few years, your Zeke and your Le'Veon Bell. So I want to say the only sign a running back if you're a running back away and if you're a potential Super Bowl team. See Christian McCaffrey and the San Francisco 49ers. Those are really the few times where you want to sign a running back long term.
Yeah. It's wild to think that the Super Bowl winner from the last 2 years started a running back that they drafted in the 7th round. It's like the guy who's getting beat up the most on offense is the most undervalued player. When you think about it, it doesn't make a lick of sense, right?
It's ridiculous.
Well, I think if you are a running back after you've played out your rookie contract, if it's 4 years or then they pick up your 5th year
option, some money
for your second contract, do not worry about any loyalty. You get the biggest contract they will give you, no matter the team, because that's it. Yep. After that second contract, that may be it for your career, or you're going to be playing on a minimum contract by the time you're 28, 29. So that's the reality.
Walking around with K knees, right, Olu?
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing, guys, and here's a kicker for all running backs. I was doing some research, and Miles Sanders, he signed last year with the Panthers, a 4-year, $25 million deal, which isn't really an expensive deal, right, for running backs per se. Yet it was still costly to the Panthers because he only had 432 yards in 16 games with a career low of 3.3 yards per carry. Right. This is why teams are going to be hesitant to give that contract to your late 20s running back.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of that, I think one of the worst things that can happen to a running back is being taken in the first round in today's NFL. So, for example, we have Trey Henderson, who was supposed to be the top running back of this year from Ohio. He decided to go back to school for another year, in which case he will be turning 22, almost 23 by the new league year next year. So, and he'll probably be taken in the first round. And I'm like, wow, you just shot yourself in the foot. So that means if he gets taken in the first round, he has 5 years option contract, and the franchise tag, that's 6. So by then he will be 29. Bad move.
Well, yeah, but it's actually smart to go back because now they have the NIL. So these guys are getting paid while they're in college.
But not as much as an NFL contract.
No, it's not.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's truth to that. But let's keep moving. Olu, 1 minute of shine, man.
1 minute of shine. So there was a time when football season ended, and I was like, "Oh man, the football season ended." And then my wife looked at me and said, "Football never ends in this house." So I was like, "Well, that is true because we just entered another exciting time for football, which is the combine, seeing what skilled players run, where they can rank, how fast they are, how quick they move up the ladder of draft stock, how quick they fall, all the slander of trying to make quarterback not look as good as they actually are, and then the actual draft day, being able to see them with their I love those things. I love seeing them in draft day. I love seeing how they do in OTAs, how they do in minicamp, rookie camp, and then to see if what undrafted rookie made the 53-man roster. So I feel like it's an exciting time, although lengthy, but not exciting nonetheless. Oh, I missed the free agency. I missed the free agency portion of things, the trading. So this is quite an exciting time in football, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Will, go for it, man.
Was that
All right,
enough
my
for you?
1 minute to shine is just about one specific player. I'm getting really excited about Malik Nabers. You know, the dynasty league that we're in together, I've got the third pick. If Olu doesn't mess things up for me or himself, I should have the first chance at Malik Nabers. And the more I watch him, the more I look at this guy, he's got the size, the strength, the speed. They are throwing around the idea of Jamar Chase 2.0 coming out of LSU, a type of guy who can make the catch, and then he's just dangerous after the catch. The field just opens up. And I will even go so far as to say the reason why Jaden Daniels is being talked about as being drafted in the top 3 or 4 of the NFL draft is because of Malik Nabers. He made Jaden Daniels look better than he ever had in his college career. And I think that's the type of receiver he is. So I'm getting very excited about this player.
I think we need to do a segment where we do a deep dive to really have Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Nabers and see who's truly the better receiver. It's close.
So
it's really close.
I know. I hear people throwing that out. I'm not going to go that far. Marvin Harrison should not get to me at the third pick. Okay. That would be a travesty because he's 6'4" and he does not drop anything.
If he goes to the Giants and Nabers goes to the Chargers, he's coming to you.
Harrison's he's not making it past the Cardinals, man. He's not making it past the Cardinals.
No, the Cardinals better take him. Yeah, you've got your quarterback already in Kyler. Go give him a generational receiver.
You know, for my 1 minute of shine, I was like, what am I going to talk about? But when you brought up Malik Nabers, so I'm excited about Malik Nabers, and obviously, you know, a little spoiler, we're going to be featuring rookies in every episode as we go forward for the next few months, but so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but a guy that I'm actually starting to fade that's sliding down my board, and I hate saying it, is Brian Thomas Jr. Like, you would ask me a week or two ago, I'd be like, oh, I'm in on Brian Thomas Jr. I like him. I like his size. But then the more I research him, I'm more like, I mean, just even, and I'm not even going to say advanced statistics, but even just at the face value, when you go from his sophomore year, going from 31 catches, 361 yards, and 5 touchdowns to then 68 catches, 1,177 yards, and 17 touchdowns, it's like, whoa, it's tough for me to jump on board with this guy.
You're saying you don't like it?
I'll be honest, not as much. No, not as much.
You're saying that you're worried that it was a fluke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I need to do, but this is what I will admit, I've got to do more research on him to look at some more advanced statistics. So, but at face value, I'm starting to fade him. But anyways,
for me, I feel like we can look at all the stats. You know, it's college. You're gonna have guys that go like for 23 touchdowns. For me, I watch them play. I use my eye test.
Absolutely.
He's going to be a legit receiver in this league.
I think the thing that we have to look at when evaluating players coming out into the league is you've got to look at not just the numbers, you're correct, but also who did they play with? Were they playing with other NFL talent? And then who did they play against? Were they playing against NFL talent? Because if you get a guy who's getting astronomical numbers, but they're playing against Providence College, it's like,
I mean, come on,
what is that?
Right, but LSU, he's facing NFL cornerbacks.
He's playing with NFL players against NFL players.
So this is what I
that
do, right?
does say something.
This is what I do. I just don't look at. Obviously, I look at what conference SEC. I look at against Alabama, all this top defense. Then I watch them how they catch the ball, how they get So it's really how they play the game versus their number. Like I don't care. Like for example, Jelly Hyatt last year, all his games was just go routes.
Absolutely.
Like what am I going to do with that? I can't do anything with that.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that. But even with my Brian Thomas take, the little bit I see, I don't see him high pointing the ball using that 6'4" frame. I see him body catching it. Some people call him basket. Some people call him a basket catcher. And so I'm just like, gives me Quentin Johnston vibes,
Oh, man.
Anyways,
I won't go
why is Quentin Johnson just catching strays? Well, we weren't saying anything about this, man.
We've already labeled him a bust. Anyways, let's move on.